everyone, welcome on a new episode of Melstock, and today I'm here with Sylvia Mac, who is the founder of Love Disfigure. So thank you, Sylvia, first of all, to come to Melstock and talk a bit about your journey.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure to have you. So Love Disfigure, for people who don't know, is an online support network with people who have visible or hidden differences or disabilities.
Yes, it is, yes. Yeah.
And when did you found the company, Sylvia?
Well, I founded Love Disfigure 6 years ago. And it was just to support other people, raise awareness for people with disfigurement. But the agency that I've just set up has been like about a month.
Wow, so really new.
Yes.
So really excited to talk about your journey as a founder and especially as a disabled founder.
Yes.
A bit about your challenges, your vision for the agency, and as well, let's talk a bit as well about Hatch, because today we are here at Hatch Enterprise. So let's go. So first question for you, Sylvia. Before we start a company, we obviously have different triggers, you know, like things that made us want to become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
What was for you the trigger?
I think I always wanted to start my own business, but I just didn't know how. And I felt like, you know, like I think over the years where I'd struggled with my mental health, and I felt like there was nothing for me or no help for me. So it was when I finally set up my online network, I hadn't realised that in actual fact, everything that I was doing was building me up to this point in becoming a business founder. And some people say to me, you've already been an entrepreneur. Do you not realise you've built it all up over the past 6 years? But yeah, I think now is just the right time for me. And thanks to Hatch, I'm here today, yeah.
So can you talk a bit more about, obviously, that hidden disability that we don't really see? Tell us a bit more, guide us through that journey.
Yeah, so a hidden difference or disability to me is something that's not seen, and there's always been like a word in such as visible difference, and the thing that come to my mind, I didn't have a visible difference. Only people that had, you know, maybe like scarring or something like that on their faces or their hands, where you could see it, they had a visible difference. So it was just for me to change the word there, and I changed it to hidden. And I began to meet many people with hidden difference, where they'd have like scars on their body, or they'd have like maybe a skin condition that's on their body, or they might have a stoma bag, you don't see it. So to me, that was a hidden difference. And it could also be a disability as well, depending on that person and how that affects them, that difference affects them. For example, somebody with like psoriasis, guttate psoriasis, or guttate psoriasis, might be saying that wrong, they tend to have problems like with their bones. So then that will be a disability. So there's, Can
you tell us a bit how it was for you as a personal experience growing with that disability?
For me, I didn't know how to sort of like talk about having a disability to others. And the reason behind that was, which is something I just shared recently, was that my father told me that there was always other people worse off than me. So I learned, even though I was disfigured, badly disfigured on my back, and it caused me chronic pain, and I've had to have surgery all my life, right up to now. I'm still going through that, and yet I just don't know how to say actually I'm disabled. So
is it hard for you to say
not anymore. It's not anymore. Only because I did a podcast with a guy who actually worked as a Samaritan, and he said to me, "Hey, you know, it's time for you to accept that and say, you know, that actually people don't know what you're going through."
Exactly.
And so it was from that I thought, yeah, he's right. And so I did. I finally like come to accept it and say, yeah, I'm disabled. And what? That's it.
So what made you want to create that agency? In the sense of like you could have stayed with your disability,
Yeah.
you could have just, go on your own path. What
Yeah.
made you want to kind of help as other people as well?
Well, I've been helping others for the past 6 years, 6 to 7 years, through my campaigns,
Yeah.
raising awareness. But the reason I wanted to set up the agency to help others that extra mile was because I wanted them to find work in these industries, in the fashion industry, in TV and film and theatre industries, because I feel like there's not enough diversity and awareness out there. Yeah.
So what was, because obviously that is an entrepreneur, I mean now you're running your business, how it is, because we know it's always challenging,
Yeah.
how it is to run the business, especially when you also have a disability. Does it kind of like, is it a challenge for you, or you know?
Yeah, it can be challenging because most days I have to wake up early, I have to take medication,
Wow.
and so I have to do that early on in the day so that I'm ready to move around, because I have problems like with moving about, with my mobility, and so once that all kicks in, then I'm ready to go. And sometimes, especially if I have to go somewhere that day, I know that I have to plan the way that I take my medication just through. I may have to drive, maybe I'll get an Uber, but I have to plan that day ahead. But otherwise, I know that I can work from home.
Yeah,
I can stay in bed and work on my laptop and still do Zoom calls. Nobody needs to know. So it is really, it's good to know that being disabled, you can still do those things. Yeah.
So how was the beginning of the creation of the agency? Because we know as a founder,
Yeah.
the beginning of launching a company is always hard.
Yeah.
What was kind of the first step of you building the agency?
Well, it was just trying to see if there was anything out there now. And now that I was more confident, more persistent, I realised that I could actually go out and find if there's anything out there for me, whether it's a course or... And I happen to know someone who does extremely well with his own business. Wow. And his name's Andrew Douglas. I'll mention his name because he's actually recently done Purple Sock Day, which gives 50% of the proceeds to Hatch. But I did not know that. And he said to me, "Hey, Sylvia, you can go on a business course with Hatch." and he put me on to Hatch, and I got on the course and completed the course, and it was great. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Yeah,
Tell us a bit more, about how Hatch helped you, maybe for business founders who are looking at this interview. In which way did Hatch help you, Sylvia?
Well, they were just great all the way along, because in actual fact, from the beginning, and I've not mentioned this to everyone, but I was going through my menopause, and so I had brain fog.
Wow.
So it was difficult for me to pick up and listen and engage with things. And also, there were other people there that what worried me were people being younger than me. I'm in my 50s, so there was that along with my disability. And so I had all of those kind of like worries going on. But Melissa Morgan was one of the Hatch leaders, and she was great. Like, she spoke to me regularly, and she would send me out paperwork in the post so that I got it. And I'm very old school, so I prefer like pen and paper sometimes. I can write for days, I'm sure I've wrote several books there. But she was absolutely brilliant, and she really steered me through it, and I got out the other end and did extremely well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what were kind of the achievements you've made after you've gone through that program?
Well, towards the end of it, we did like a Dragon's Den style kind of like set up. And everyone was, it was nerve-wracking for everyone. But it was great. And I just kind of put in the back of my head that if this was for real, then I would have to be serious and tell them what I need, And the people at the other end of it, the so-called dragons, were actually business founders. And it was amazing to get feedback from them and to know that they thought my business was a really good idea, because I wasn't selling a product, it's a service. And so I have to make sure that what I'm doing is going to be the right thing, because nobody wants their business to fail.
So tell us a bit actually about the development of the agency now.
Yeah.
What are the projects you are currently doing?
Yeah.
How many talents do you have? And
Yeah.
maybe for people who are looking as well, how do we
Yeah.
join the agency?
Yeah. So I've set up Love Disfigure Talent Agency. The website is being created as we speak. So
Amazing.
hopefully maybe before Christmas, I'm sure the website will be up and running. And I have about 12 people on the books at the moment, which are my talent, from the ages of 2 up to the ages of 50 something. And they all
really, like,
it is,
wide.
and they either have like a disability or a difference, such as vitiligo, scarring. Yeah, there's so many other things such as stoma. Yeah, and these people need like help in getting into these industries, so it was important that I do that. And the great thing is that once the website is up and running, I know that I can put out little, adverts on Instagram, social media, and then other people with disabilities can apply that way.